falsehood would be promoted, and everything would be upside down. So the inspiration come just like all the inspiration from Murder Rakim, Hills and Valley. We didn't deny these songs. We make them because that's our duty. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay, and since we're taking it back to the 90s, we'll even go a little further back to the 80s, where basically your career began, right? As a young teen in Jamaica, running into studio, watching how...
I recorded my first track in 1986 at Penthouse Recording Studio, 56 Slipe Road, Kingston, Jamaica, for Robert French on the France label.
Talk to me about that moment there, because I heard you say the story before, but I think a lot of people would really appreciate just how that came to be. Talk to me about that and how you were discovered.
I wasn't lost. I wasn't discovered.
Okay, my apologies. You see, with Buju, listen to me, people. With Buju, you have to talk the right way, because it's going to check you if you use the wrong lingo. But yeah.
What happened, what transpired was this. My mentor at the time was a man called Homer Harris. Now, Homer Harris was a true revolutionary who stood up in the Brixton Revolution. Okay. He had a recording studio in Jamaica called Blue Mountain Records. So we grew up around firm people, yeah? On one particular day, it was raining, and I went to Blue Mountain Records at 2B Grove Road. And Mr. Homer Harris said to Clement Irie, who was a very prominent entertainer in the camp at the time, take Buju to the studio so he could see what it looks like. I was 16 years old. I'd never been inside a recording studio before, but I used to stand in front of my mirror and practice every morning, just rehearse my songs, Anyway, Harry took me down there. We drove in a taxi, driven by a guy called Henry. And the rain was just pouring. When we got to the studio, Clement Harris said to Robert French, this is Buju banton. But when I got inside there, I see all these entertainers that I knew, and I heard their songs on the radio. Little Lenny, Little Kurt, Pantomime. These guys were like, so I wasn't hearing the conversation. I was busy looking at them, and they were wearing these huge chains around their neck like a car. And I was just in a maze of while Clement I was saying to Robert French, this is a DJ named Buju. I want you to hear what he sounds like. So what? Yeah, go around to the recording booth, and when you see the red light comes on, that's your cue. I was shaking like a leaf. And I put on the headphones, and the light came on. And I said, can you hear yourself? And I said, yeah. And I said, measure the span from the puff guard to your lips. And I did this. I said, stay right this and don't move. Make sure you're speaking at and the rhythm started playing. I comport myself, close my eyes. When I opened my eyes, the song was done. And the whole studio was
what?
Of it. So I walk around and everybody want to, so where you come from, man? You know what I mean? So, in the city, man. Where your name, Buju? Where you get the name from? That was basically my first entry, but that was way and far in between. I was a one song. Now in a country like Jamaica, we have songs coming out every day. This song released in Jamaica. It was released on a compilation in Canada. So I didn't hear it. So by this now, I was having a little issue with my dad going to the dance hall every night and coming in late every night at 16. So he gave me a key. Yeah? So when I wouldn't have to sleep outside. I could pull the door and come inside. So one day, a policeman in our community by the name of Hooligan was playing a sound system. And the story goes, he called my dad and said, who's this singing? So my father couldn't tell my father it was me. So now my father really see why I needed a key, because I was really going to the studio and really trying to do music passion. So that was my entry into the game.
Wow. So, and mind you, at that time, it was taboo. It wasn't a good thing to be an artist, whether it's reggae, dance, or anything like that.
So ironically, every parent that I know who's from the African community, when them children are growing up, they always foist upon you must be a lawyer, you go and be a doctor, you go and be this.
Yes.
But really, do they allow you to be what you want to be or what the Most High intended you to be? So in most ways, you're trained to be somebody else. So in my education, it was different because we come from a poor home. We couldn't afford to pay attention. So we trust on the guidance of the Most High. And that guidance is here to you for this conversation.
Yeah, man. That's mad. So at least, and again, big up to your father for seeing the vision and being like, you know what, this guy really has a purpose. Let's try to nourish it a little bit. Give him a little key so he can come back home whenever he needs to. That was good. That was a blessing. Yeah. Now, you talk about going into the dance hall at 16, 17, or even 18. And that's really where, if you're a true follower of dancehall and reggae music, that's where you really become an artist.
Yeah.
We could talk about what's going on now in 2020 where, man can just buy a laptop and go in his studio, buy a microphone and bang, bang, bang. But you really were part of that culture where you had to hone your craft and show your craft in the dancehall.
Yeah, we'd leave out on a Thursday. We had dance sometimes Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. And we're back on the truck with the sound system, driving back to Kingston for the Monday morning. You know what I mean? You have to pack your clothes for the 4 nights. You have to carry a lyrics book because you might be inspired on the truck. Every night, new lyrics because remember now, we were upcoming. You have stars who are these dances, who are getting paid to come to these dances, who drive their own car, or, you know what I mean? So we were like the starter. And when they leave, we have to keep the dance going. So you have to have a whole heap of lyrics. Your lyrical content must be there. And dance starts in Jamaica like 9, 10 o'clock. Dance don't finish until the sun come up 7 o'clock. Yeah. So you used to have famous guys who used to stay all night, like a singer like Josie Wales, a DJ like Josie Wales, and Red Dragon. When Red Dragon will come to a dance, he don't just come and spend half hour and leave. He would stay until the sun rises and the people gather around. Just like Floragan, they used to do Sanchez too. All of them used to do that, and I used to admire it, because then I see a different side when I used to go to other dance like Metro Media, Peter Metro, Tanto Metro, them come and they do them thing and they take time easy, but you have to, and the people, you have to know to entertain. You teach you how to entertain, teach you how to hold your microphone properly. Mm-hmm. Diaphragm, you never. A guy cover the diaphragm and say, turn it up. Take your from a diaphragm. Why don't you?
True words, man. Buju. Alright, so from there you kind of hold your craft, you start making your music, you know what I mean? The albums start coming, the singles start coming. One question I did want to ask you, and I've always wanted to ask somebody like you this question, is at what point did you realize, say I'm here for a different purpose than just pasa, whatever it is. Like I'm here, like I have a message to give, I am a deliverer. I know sometimes you even call yourself the messenger, you know what I mean? Or the person who delivers this through lyrics.
Luciana is the messenger. I am a servant.
Sorry. Yes, man.
Yeah, I am a servant of the people.
There you go.
Who, many times, according to the distraction, them don't see us. But there has never been a time where a servant has not been sent to the people. Some of them don't really take on to. Some of them even kill. Some of them in prison. But to say that I was walking up a hill and a particular bird flew over my head, we'll be telling a blatant lie. And, I'm not really depend that to the masses. No, it's truth. So, we are all created equal, but not equally appointed. Just keep it there.
I like that. And I also know one time you had said that, even when you were going into these studios as a young youth, you were the servant at that time. But I like what you said. You said, for you to be served, for you to get to that level to be served, you have to be a servant at one point.
Then didn't my father told us that he washed all his disciples' feet? That showed them he's not better off than them. Yes, it is a trend. You go to a recording studio in Jamaica, no one knows you, and the superstar said, Barry Sam, look, I said, go buy me a couple of guineas. Are you going to tell Barry Sam? You can't do that.
No, sir.
So you go. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the old that we come from. So you have to pay your dues.
Now, do you feel like the new Jamaica, the new artists in that reggae space, in that dancehall space, are paying their dues? Do you feel like they really understand how to?
In this dispensation, they are paying their dues in their way. We have changed the dynamics and made a great sacrifice to move the music from a position where it couldn't feed us or it couldn't sustain us to a position where young men feel able and comfortable enough to tell their mom and their father that they're now in the reggae music dance industry. So it has improved and they're doing well. They're paying their dues too. But the road for them to do that.
Yeah. And again, it's because of you guys, like you just said, paving that way and showing them. Now, how are you still showing these people, the young generation or the newcomers, like this is still the way we have to do things? Because I know you're very much about maintaining the integrity of music
in social programs, like coming up as a young man. I bought my first bicycle for $15 in Jamaica.
Okay.
And that meant everything to me until it was stolen. We speak every day about crime and how can we build more prisons and how can we exterminate them and neutralize them. But I seldom hear anyone speak of how can we help the youth. Yeah? And I'm not talking about a bicycle either. Sustainable development, sustainable growth. I'm not one to take to the social media to announce what I'm doing when I'm doing things for people, because my father does not like that. You do things for people from here, not for the internet. Okay? So some things you're going to see that is conducive for you to see and something you won't see, even though it is right and it is being done. You know what I mean? Because you don't show the people them what you do for other people. You don't work like that.
No, sir. And most of the time when people is doing that kind of behavior, it's more for, like you say, for the internet or what they call now clout.
It's narcissistic, It shows that your true intent wasn't really what you was doing, but to really get a mileage or some likes.
Exactly. Just do it and do it from the heart.
That's the upside down world we're living in now, where if you fall on your face before someone lifts you up, they try to video you to send you live. So.
and that's a good transition, because now Income Upside Down 2020, which again, like I mentioned in the beginning of this live, has come at a time where the world is really seeing us at a different place. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can see me good.
Yes, I can see. I'm saying hi to some people writing down there.
Okay. Yeah. I know Beanie is in here. Big up Beanie man, I'm in there too.
Beanie man.
Matter of fact, before we go to the 2020, how did you feel about? Did you watch the verses of Beanie and Buju?
I watched it.
What was your opinion?
Clarity, but I was there. I supported. Yes, it was great.
Okay, number one, was that a good thing for the culture?
It was an amazing thing for the entire nation. To get up over 500,000 people in this time. Come on, you know what I mean? Even America,
the biggest numbers that Versus has ever seen.
Tough time gathering people. So my brothers did tremendously well. Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, great for the culture.
So big up Beanie. Beanie's in the chat. He said big up to you.
Big up. Ride the prize too. Original.
Yeah, man, I must. The general, I must. All right, so let's go back to now the Upside Down 2020. Again, an album that comes in almost like at the perfect time, and even just running through the playlist of the songs, right? Before you even listen to the songs, you have Lamb of God, which kicks off the album, which is almost like a prayer in itself, yes?
Yes.
And then further down, one of my favorite songs, number 3, is Buried Alive. Mm-hmm. The lyrics in that song alone, like if you really listen to what y'all say, buried alive, but they thought they buried me alive, but now I'm free. Talk to me about that song.
Well, what can I say? After this song speaks so much volume for itself.
I tell you, Buju, that song is tough.
Testimony of truth. Is a testimony that if you wish to harbor truth, because truth is simple, When the truth is revealed, it rush and people embrace it naked like God.
It's true. I love it. So now we go from God.
But we have all experienced being buried alive. But most of us, we live in a different reality than the one that we're currently faced with. We want to differ. But you've all been buried alive. You've been quarantined for the last 11 weeks, yet you're alive. You're restricted. Your liberty taken. Things placed on you. Iron Man was not made to wear a mask.
No, sir.
It's been pushed on us. But soon and very soon, the people, it's just so sad sometimes that they have to be brought to the very brink of extinction before they realize how precious life is and freedom and liberty and all them good stuff there. So we sit here as the Rasta man and watch them. Because we've been warning them for many years, even before me warned a scheme along and warned them, and they didn't listen. So now we'll watch to see you when you're going to wake up. Because when you become aware, we'll be right here, ready for you, ready with you.
No words have your words are so true, because again, you've been singing this and talking about this for years, and now when you really think about it, it's like everything that is in your music and everybody just like you is coming to fruition. It's like we've been trying to tell you, yo, Babylon, you know what I mean?
My fathers before me did the same.
Yes.
Bonnie, Burning Spear, Wailing Soul. They tried to give the people the music, the message. This is one of the most suppressed music in the world. As you know that, it's only chance why I'm sitting on Instagram talking to you.
Yes.
Because the truth be told, and are we not telling and educating the people, the Jamaican music was the first music to sell 1 million copy of a phonographic record anywhere in the world. Ever since then,
talk to them. Yes.
The first million records of a phonographic record was made in Jamaica and sold from Jamaica by a guy, a virgin called Harry Belafonte.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, the Jamaican music has been controlled, so to speak, because if the powers that be is not the first person or the people earning the vast revenue from it, we can't get anywhere. You know what I mean? So they create their own little cabals, and they go under the pretext of signing that person, sign up. That means they are now the gatekeepers. Well, I do partnerships, you know, so the word must be heard, because I don't come to work for a guy. I'm too old to get fire.
What?
It's old if you have a boss.
Yes.
So our thing with partnership, I make sure say the world, which is bigger than me and any other guy out there. Because reggae music don't come for one man, you know. I don't come to own it. I never claim it. I embrace it. You don't come for one person, come for all the way. You understand? As long as you know the mission to uplift and educate and stimulate the minds of the people and remind them of the true and living God who they are so far divorced from.
Now, let's talk about that. What made you join partnership with Rock Nation? Why Rock Nation?
Because they were willing to join partnership with me.
Mm.
Black excellence, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, I've been independent for quite some time, making all those records, you know, Driver. All those records were independently made, except for Till Shiloh and a couple more that I did with the record major labels. But a partnership is not a situation where one person feels it and the other person don't. Both sides of the group of the companies must feel like we're merging together for the benefit of all.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right, and again, 20 tracks, ideally in 2020. Was that intentional to have 20 songs on the album?
Mystical.
I'm telling you. I was listening to somebody talk.
That's honorable, but it's mystical, you know? Because I've been away for so long in captivity. We couldn't come and give the regular 16 songs. To me, that's, you know, we have so much things to say. So much go on, pour out our heart. You know, remember, you know, they had their go around, you know. Because they have the method of reaching every household through mainstream media. We don't have that opportunity. So we have to take the opportunity that we have here through, which is word, sound, and truth.
Yes.
Back to the people, then. When something speaks to your soul, it's different from when something speaks to your ear, you know. Okay? I'll leave it at that.
Yes, man. Boy, Buju, it's an honor, man. I was waiting for this opportunity to talk to you, because your words are very wise and your wisdom is deep, so I appreciate you. But let's continue, because we know we're here for the program of the album.
Upside down. So what?
Upside down. So everything is Upside Down 2020, which, by the way, was released on Friday, yes?
Yeah.
Dropped on Friday,
yes.
20 tracks. You linked up with some older collaborations that you had before, and you also linked up with some new people like Steph London. But of course, one of your good friends, D.F. Kelly, on the album. Talk to me about that kind of link up, because he was at that studio when you were 15, 16, and you were told go around the booth, wasn't he?
No, Dave wasn't there that day when I first went. It was his brother, Tony.
Tony was there.
Where I met Dave. Working with Dave was always exceptionally well, you know, because as young men, Dave was more into music. He was touring already with Maxi Priest. He used to work at Dynamic Sounds, and him and Tony were senior engineer at Dynamic Sounds and Tough Gun.
Yeah.
Where he So they had the expertise. So working with Dave has always been good. And then when I fall into the camp with my writing skills and my they say quick thinking ability at that time, to transform the music was a major priority. To change from a situation where the music was not properly structured and the lyrics was not making too much sense, but to keep the elements of enjoyment, gyration, up tempo, but create another dimension to it that is infectious.
And I mean, off of that you have Blessed. Off of that you have what's my man? Listen, the album itself is just full of. If you really just listen to the way, even the way, and you didn't really go with just one producer. You went with different producer too as well.
Well, if you notice my works over time, I've never done that. One man that produced a Buju banton record. If I'm going to do a record, I believe in spreading the joy, spreading the love. So a guy come and say, want to do some work on a record from America. I could not go to Jamaica and do all this work by myself. That would not sound right. I have to go and find the professional musicians, the professional producers that I like how they do their stuff, and we spread the business around so everyone realize that, hey, because one person cannot uplift. We have to take the people with us, and it's an industry. It's an industry. You know what I mean? So therefore, that's important. If you look on previous records, you see the same trend. Yeah, we're till Shiloh, numerous producers. It's a mention, numerous producers. So it's good. You bring a prejudice of sounds and taste to the record. Yes.
Which you have a lot. I mean, again, at the beginning of the record, like I said, you start with Lamb of God, Yes, My Friend, Buried Alive, and then you go into, you start getting into the memories, and then A Lovely State of Mind, where you start talking to you start talking to the women. There's a girl section on the album, and then we go back into, you know what I mean, into the vibe, like, what was the consciousness of sequencing the album in this order?
It flowed. It flowed. You see, music is supposed to flow. The dynamics of music, it is supposed to flow. The content, the order, everything is supposed to flow. You need one. Yes?
Yes.
Heart, one mind. Just one. Just be at one with the music.
And is it true? Is it true that Dave is the only person that can write you a song?
Yes, absolutely.
I heard you. There's nobody else. You write. The only person who can give you a song written out is Dave, and that's it.
The last time I checked, I was still thinking. So yes.
Madness. Well, the album is out 2020. Upside Down 2020, which is out now.
If I say this, I know there's a lot of guys who are going to want to say, "Well, Buju, try this song." I'm open, but listen, I've got so much things to say right now. I don't think another person can speak for me. While I'm alive, it will not happen.
What have you not said on the album? What is there left to say that you haven't said on the album?
What is not said is what should not be said. And what should be said, maybe should be said at a later date. So then be patient. You know, these are some of the things that we have to correct ourselves with in terms of the upside down mentality. We have no patience. We consume and we devour. And when we think we have devoured and consumed enough, we seek something else to consume and devour. So this wanton, I wouldn't say it's greed to consume and devour. This wanton desire to devour have us doing things that are not really right. For instance, music. Music is supposed to be the only thing that never dies. But because of we've been trained to be avid consumers over the past 20 years or more, so through social engineering and other factors, of course, we will go to our $2,000, we will rush to find the nearest mart to get rid of it. And that consumer mentality has soaked over into the music so much so that we devour it. And you always want it. So you're not stopping to listen to anything at all.
No.
You understand? You're rushing. And they say, oh, I didn't know that. Really? When did that happen? It has always been there. A lot of what you need to know has been in your face all along. Right in your face. Every day, too.
It's true. Even in the books.
We have to slow down and live in the now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you read, Buju? Do you read a lot of books?
And you need to start doing them now, more than ever. Because I don't know if people follow the prophecies that has been laid out before us before time, because the book of Revelation has finished now, so I don't know what I'm going to do. But according to the prophecies that we see fulfilling, the racing of history, they have started with monuments and we see them destroying everything and everything. I don't mind them destroying the colonial masters and everything that is rare, but when they start destroying certain things, it makes you stop and look if this is prophecy fulfilling on us. Because I see about the Bible now, that the Bible and the Bible this. We did know that Rastaman did know that we have to write the Bibles on our heart because it will be faced from mankind. And these words that we grew up and that teach us how to love each other and how to revere the true and living I am. There's going to be a generation that knows nothing about that, because when they finish and moving from destroying and destroying, we have a problem. So everyone should know it, and at least not a minimal of 10 Psalms. Yes? A minimal of 10 Psalms and some of your favorite books, because there will be a time. But no matter, we never know, because they'll never read no more.
No, not really.
A great thing happened the other day in London. There was rioting over the Blue Story movie that came out. And all the stores were burnt and one block except a bookstore. And I find that so great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because if you destroy the bookstore, if you destroy the bookstore, you're destroying our knowledge.
Yes. History gone.
Our people now, and nothing but distraction. Everywhere you turn around, as my people become focused, they find another distraction for them. Whether it is a ball, whether it's basketball, I don't give. You always have the eye on a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Why do you have the eye on a ball at all times? Why can't you have the eye on a book? Where are those old good? You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And then nobody don't do no research. Everybody just regurgitate what them hear and them listen to the people that we have been telling them nothing but all kind of things. Listen, I know what them do to me now. So when I speak to my people,
yes,
turn them out. But don't read. If you don't want knowledge enough, go find it and stop depending on them to give you knowledge and tell them to go in and give you their version, their narrative. And they've been doing it for so many years, and you still sit on your lazy ass and accept it, go out and regurgitate it and act upon it in violent ways too. So we're going to sit and watch you until you're ready. So,
I mean, I feel the same way, honestly, about Christianity in Africa. You know, I feel that was a way where, again, me as a Kenyan, when we grew up in a Kenya, and I see the way just Christianity is just used as almost like you said, it's like almost like a mind slave to just control people into one narrative.
Yeah, again. But what people don't understand enough. It is written, Africa is the land where our God loves to be.
Yes.
So how come my God? You weren't there when you killed the Christ. We live all the way in Africa, you killed the Christ in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
We never did that. We never have nothing to do with it.
No.
So why you act like you want to bear the cross after? You want all the rich on earth, you just still tell my people they must die and go to heaven. Brother. Why you live paradise here on earth? We are innocent, old lad, who took no part in such atrocities.
No.
The people who have been led astray went a warring after other gods, who have been fragmented and splintered by all different demon nations. And we seek thee for perpetual guidance and relieve these shackles of invisible chains from us, so we can see our way. Let our prayers be heard. Let the angels bless our children so they may prosper.
Mm-hmm.
The kids be cared for, the infants be cared for, the sick nourished. Oh, you do, daddy? You know what I mean? So on and so forth. How will you bring for me? Thank you, Father. God bless you. Thank you, daddy. Yeah. I'm a father. Been to mango for me.
Bingo. But yes, I mean, we're really having a real conversation, Buju. You know, again, I always felt like, you know, in Africa and probably all over the world. I mean, never really understand until I really started opening my mind to understand, like, why is there a white man sitting on my wall in my mother's house that everybody worships?
Does he pay the bills or the rent?
And then what happens in Africa, because Africa, everybody has our pigmentation, right? So when a white man come into Africa, especially back in the days, he's almost looked at as a god. Why? Because you have that God sitting on your wall. You have that guy sitting on your wall looking, you know what I mean?
History was also written by the conquerors. And the onslaught on our culture, it has proliferated for years. You know, we this generation seek not to ascribe to anything that we cannot identify with, you know. Especially I as a black conscious man. You understand? We as Africans, as Rasta man, we can't, that's why we say I is the last guy. Because first and foremost, when Moses asked the Moses, I said, let me see you. So I can tell the people, I see him, say, you can't see me, Moses. Go up in the mountain, I shall pass there at 12 noon. If you look upon me, you shall be no more. But after I pass, you can see the front remnants thereof. So no man know what the true and living creator God look like. You follow me? Mm-hmm. When I go to the people, they say, who sent you Moses? They say, the great I am sent me. So other name, no. The Christ, look come and walk the face of the earth. There have been two. The one you know and the one I tell you about. In the name of the two Jesus, we ask the people them go do no research and find out where I go on. Don't listen to nobody, not even me. Go and go look at time from the cup. Because when Rasta talk, would not be first. They say them smoke too much ganja. Yes, that's why we're there now. And most of them gone. Because we immune. You know, you are going in a room. This coronavirus here. A ganja them are sell up there. Every dispensary open. Yes.
Thanks, bro.
So, and centuries ago, in Persia, in Iran, the Zoroastrian priests told them, the only thing that will free the minds of the people is that blessed plant, marijuana. Because with marijuana plants, it's harder to brainwash the people. I'm not promulgate the smoking of marijuana, but may I tell you the truth? Because we've been protected and been denied the truth. And many falsehoods and fabrications has been out there, and the people, most of them gullible. Some of them want, but them don't know if to turn. They run to the west. Them get caught in nothing but lies, deceptions. People using us as their political tool to further their own political agenda. Then they're going to relegate us back to the same top position and underdog position. And you know what I mean? We, the people, have to wake up. Upside Down, we're going to set it right. Let's go.
Listen, Upside Down is out now.
Buju.
2020, the album is out now on all platforms. It's a Rock Nation collaboration. Buju, I'm going to tell you like this. If I come to Jamaica, me and you are all that reasoning. So I'm going to sit down and all that proper reasoning, brother. You know what I mean? So now, I wanted to kind of go back again. Go ahead.
And burn two big ganja spliff because you have to raise your consciousness.
I hate that. Now, let me ask you something. We're on social media. Has it been was it a challenge for you when you came back? Because when you were away...
Well, I stick a minute. So you made about social media, I'm supposed to eat my mango, my father just give me.
You can't eat whatever you want to eat, B.
Talk to me.
Go on with your thing, man. Was it a challenge for you to try to adjust to the new world? Because when you came back home, it was a different world from how you left it.
This world, there was nothing new about it. Evil still exists. The wicked roam freely and persecute those who themselves. Yes. What they're trying to do now is create your new world and foisting it upon the people, call it a new norm. You understand? Remember, Bob Marley don't tell me said the old world has ended and a new world has just begun. That start long times, a new world must start again with a new norm. And it's so funny because right through our life, all we've been taught is division. Stay away from that person because they are white. Stay away from that person because they are this. Stay away from that person because they are Hispanic. Vote for this political party. Vote for that political party. You can't live in this part of the country. You can't live in this part of this neighborhood. No social distancing. Keep us apart even further. We're not supposed to come together, people. What about social unity? I've never heard these people promote or foster the great unity. that we come together and think aside. Because if we come together in unity, we have no need for them, So it's not in their best self-interest to promote unity, but division and distraction. Because it's the moment we are unified, remember.
It's a different word for real. It will be a different word for real. Talk to me about, I heard an interesting take you had in how music, especially how we consume music began, Back in the day, we used to go by 45 and 12 and all them something there. Now we've condensed it into other things. Talk to me about that.
But music is frequency. Years ago, centuries ago.
Big up, by the way, big up Sanchez, I big you up.
Big up Sanchez, my singer, my teacher too. One Sound System, Rambo International.
Mad.
People used to play music in whatever key you want to tune your instrument in. Some use 432, some use 440, some use 4 different. That's why you have different scales. You have a Japanese scale, the Indian scale, the Mixolydian and the Phrygian, which are all Greek scales. But they all tie into one. So the Chinese say, let's have one scale, one frequency instead of for everybody playing what tuning instrument, whatever they want to tune it, one tuning like 440. And the world plays music from that time until now under the same frequency. This frequency sometimes can be very destructive because I work with sounds. I know what the powers of dBs are, decibel, you know what I mean? And you get a more wholesome feeling, a more rejuvenating feeling from a 432 tuned instrument. To me, more spiritual, more the body. It's like the whole body agrees. The molecules inside you, everything agrees. I'm telling you.
I believe you. I believe you, brother. Everything you're saying to me, I believe you. But I wanted you to touch on just the way we consume music now, from how we went from 45s to CD to MP3. Now everything is just digital and there's nothing tangible in your hands,
It's all a part of the control mechanism, my brother. Well, look at it like this. I could come to your house and give you a record, and you go in your house and put this record on your turntable and you play it.
Yeah.
It's crap that. They gave us iPods. It's crap that. They gave us MP3, MP4. It's crap that. They gave us CDs. They jacked that. They took away all our music from us now. Show me your music. It's in the cloud. I don't see no music in the cloud. I see the cloud. So because we don't have a physical music, because everybody's just accessible on the ground, and say technology has helped us to improve our lives and all that great and wonderful stuff. But don't you see that the emergence of records? Don't you see how expensive a phonographic record player is right now?
Yes.
From the mass, only to be given back to the mass who can afford it. Upside down, guys. Come on.
Upside down, guys. Upside down. Listen, the album is out now. Go get it. 20 tracks. What's your favorite song on the album? I know you're not going to say one, but give us your favorite one on the album.
You ever hear a fisherman saying fish stink? I am one who I said all of them are my favorite because they were with a special love, and that's a very special ingredient. Yeah.
Yes. Buju, big up yourself as always. Let's talk about Africa real quick, especially your trip to Kenya.
Kenya.
I'm gonna ask you, how was your experience? Let me tell you something. Can I just give you one quick story? I took my sons. My sons were born here in America. Yeah. I took my sons back home for the first time to Africa, December of last year, so 2019. And at that point, it just so happened, I think you were supposed to be in Kenya for the 31st, but it ended up getting moved or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But I happened to also see Coffee. Coffee was there at the same time. She was there about Christmas time. Mm-hmm. Same place that you performed in, shell down the place. I was like, yo, when Buju come in on the 31st for New Year's Eve, may I take me, my oldest son has to come with me. Even my youngest has to come with me. But, things happened and you ended up going there in February. I was vexed, Buju. I was vexed. I wanted to buy another ticket for $1,500 and just go back again. You know what I mean?
Going home is always... Going home is always great.
Always great. Always great. Now my son loves it. He wants to go back home. Because I really see where he roots is from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But talk to me about your trip to Kenya. Talk to me about just being able, not even Kenya, but just being able to travel the world and deliver your message to so many people that just follow your every, you know what I mean? Like, just hold on to every word that you said.
But I don't want people to hold on to every word of me say. I just want them to listen to the music and receive the blessing. It's not about me. It's never been about. That's where most of us get tricked in our minds as entertainers. We think it's about us. That's why I'm a servant. Come to serve the people.
Yes.
My first trip after captivity was amazing. Like I spoke about earlier on, you know. The people, the vibe. But it's also opened my eyes to something. That is the second time I've seen it. My first time in Zimbabwe, I experienced this also. Everybody was moving from the rural areas into the city. Such is the case with Kenya and the congestion. And I'm saying to myself, this country has so much land. So much land. What's going on? Then I realized it was consciously being done. For what? You figure it out. You're a Kenyan. Look further into it.
Yeah. No, other things there already, B. We know this thing already. And by the way, big up Stefan Dunn, who's in the chat. Say big up as well.
Oh, step up, sis. Big up Stefan Dunn. London in the house. How's that? Nottingham. Yeah, respect.
Big up Stefan, by the way. She's on the album, guys, in case you guys don't know.
Yeah, I got up one morning and me and Ugandan artist Bobby Wine. He came to see me over there in Uganda. We did some exercise one morning, went jogging in the park, and seeing some of the monuments. And he actually took me around that day to show me some of the historic sites there in Kenya, you know, and some nice. And
yeah, I mean, I was upset I didn't make it, but I see the love that you received and the love that you gave. What I really like when you landed in the airport, you actually kissed the ground.
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong, man.
Let me tell you something. When we realize most people in Africa come like they don't even appreciate Africa like us, you know. You must remember when the struggles was going on in Africa, Jamaicans, we didn't relent. We raised our voice and lend our talent to the cause. Even to some of us peril, you know, because, you know, we're in a country where no racism but classism exists, and if you talk too much like you want, show too much of your blackness, they are in a rush to actually cut you down, you know. So,
yeah.
We embrace the continent wholeheartedly. I've traveled to Ghana. I don't want to tell you too much, but we embrace the continent.
All right. Well, listen, Upside Down, the album is here. People go get it, go stream it. It's a collaboration with Rock Nation, Buju Banton. Let me tell you something. I respect you, brother. You're one of the influences for me becoming a DJ or selector every time. Again, 20 songs. If you listen to it just front to back, it's something you can just play from track 1 all the way to the last one called Unity. And there's a message in the music where he talks about, you know, not only being buried alive, one of my favorite songs, being blessed, can't trust phone, all the way down to unity, which is I think we need, after all, with everything that's going on in this world, we need more unity in this world, you know?
I want to take time out before you go to thank all the fans out there, all the massive right now on this Instagram live chat. You know, I'm not really that social, right? Because excuse me, I don't really know how to act.
You're perfect. You're fine the way you are, brother.
When I do the people, I have to do the people real, because the people long for people who love them. Instead of trying to exploit them and exploit every dollar out of your pocket. If I am going to come on social media, you have to say Buju. You know, I go on like, well then, you might be something else. No, come on, enough to do that something there. You know, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy Tuesday to spend them with us. All the masses out there, if you cannot be careful, please be safe. And if you cannot be safe, please be careful.
Thanks.
You understand me? We love all, because every pain, every mother feel, and every mother feel. We feel it too, because what? We're our brothers and sisters. Going forward, let the love shine. Embrace each other. Be your brother's keeper. You understand? Look out for each other. I long for a day when we as black people can trade among ourselves, do business among ourselves, honest business without running away with each other's money, and people turning up to kill each other because this one, you know what I mean? when we can become trustworthy among ourselves, we can grow and build. But when we start exhibit love to each other and stop tearing down each other and try and murder each other because we're only making our army weak. When you look in the other races, that's not happening, you know. We lose about 100 brothers a day. That's too. What's gonna happen to us? You know? And just keep yourself alive, yes? Pray,
yes, sir.
Because prayers to me mean more than anything you can ever offer. God is good.
You're the best. You're the best. A legend, an icon. I thank you. This is an honor for me to even have this conversation with you. All I ask before we go, if you can bless me, maybe with a slight prayer, or even, and then after that, we need a drop, because we know say I'll never get you in the studio, so we just need one drop, so we can't catch it after that. But give us a prayer before we leave.
Oh, Lamb of God, I come, have mercy on me. Best of my arbor will manifest us. Ahadu Amlak, amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Most High One. May He guide and protect us and bless us. Keep us safe from the evil of men. Shine your light in the hearts of all one, so that they shall know that there is a God who lives and reigns and rules over all creation. Let the earth tremble and shook at thy presence, and let Sinai be moved at the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let Jah arise, and let all his enemies be scattered. Ethiopia, Hagare.
Rastafari. Amen. All right, so if you can just give me one drop, Buju, before you drop out, I'll be grateful, brother. DJ Foreign, do whatever you want to do.
Well, this is Buju Banton. Well, this is Buju Banton from DJ Foreign show. DJ Foreign, run it. And we don't come to play. Burn it all night and day.
Blessings, brother. Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Love, love, love. Make sure y'all go buy that. Get the album right now. Stream it, all of that. Upside Down 2020 right now. Rock Nation and all them something there. Big up to